I can't believe that it's been 15 years since the animated movie came out. It generally shocks me. Even now, sitting here, it just makes me rethink about just realizing I was 9 years old. 9. I'm 24 seeing a live action remake of this movie. Time truly flies, man. It really does. It really gets to you at a certain point. If it's like 15 to 20 years, that's when it hits me. 5 to 10 years, that's okay. I can handle it. But when it's like almost like half of your life, I mean, forget it. You just start to reminisce about those years.
Here it comes!
The terrible terror!
It's like the size of my...
How to Train Your Dragon 2025 is directed by DeBlois with a screenplay by DeBlois. The film stars Mason Thames, Nico Parker, Gabriel, Howell, Julian Dennison, Bronwyn James, Harry Trevaldwyn, Piers Serafinowicz, Nick Frost, and Gerald Butler. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, as an ancient threat endangers both Vikings and dragons alike on the island of Berk, the friendship between Hiccup, an inventive Viking, and Toothless, a knife-fury dragon, becomes the key to both species forging a new future together. The How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is considered to be like one of the best animated trilogies ever. It's up there with, like, even today you still have people talking about just only 3 Toy Story films. Just something of this level where it can rival actual films like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, whatever. It blows your mind knowing that an animated film can do that, or animated movies, if you will, can like be on that level. And How to Train Your Dragon was one of those. A lot of people, especially my age, loved the first film and continue to love the second and third one. And to this day, people adore those films. They think they are amazing and still think they are great animated films. Of course, live action remakes are now everywhere, especially since Disney are the main ones that do it the most. And we have seen them time and time again, regardless on what people feel about the quality of Disney and all that stuff. You cannot deny these remakes have always been kind of half-assing it, if you will, or just being, if you ask me, again, asking me, just always underwhelming because it always seems like they're just doing it for the money. That's all it really is. Now Universal decided to follow this trend by taking one of their beloved animated films and making it live action. It's almost like Universal had seen how much money Disney was making with these, and they're like, well, shit. If they're making money, why can't we? We're Universal. We got properties. We got some animated ones. We can probably make live action. What's next? After this, we can make Despicable Me live action? I don't. I hope to God that doesn't become a thing. As always, people were not excited, but not hating it. When trailers came out for this, people were actually legit were thinking, okay, I'm seeing things that are very much reminiscent of the animated feature. Feels like it's not a shot for shot remake, but rather more of a faithful remake of the original animated film. But again, how Disney usually does the live action treatment, I can't blame anybody for ever being skeptical of this trend in general. Having said that, I can say that this is one of the best live action remakes ever. I swear to you, a lot of people are going to be like, wait, what? Yes, depends on who you are and how you're going to take this. In my eyes, I legit think that this is a really an amazing film. I was completely blown away on how much DeBlois took what he worked on with that trilogy and really brought it to life, or at the very least the first film. I was completely shocked that he managed to take the amazing aspects of what made that first movie so successful and so well loved by so many people and put it into live action. And I look at this and I say, yeah, I can see that this can be live action and can work. Although there is one issue with this remake, and really only one issue. I know this may still shock you, but just stay with me now. Here are the positives I saw. The performances are exciting. Everyone in the cast, but particularly Thames, Parker, Frost, and Butler, feel like their animated counterparts, not feeling like pale imitations. Because that could have been the root of it all. People could have just been coming off as how their animated counterparts were and how they acted, and that they had to be pretty much copy and pasted in how they're supposed to be from their animated versions. Thankfully, while their spirit is not a full-on copy and paste, they are a little bit more human, if you will, or at the very least believable. Mason Thames, I will say, I think worked very well as Hiccup, and as much as I like Jay Baruchel, I think thankfully Mason Thames works just because you kind of buy like his height and how he kind of acts as being how Hiccup would be. Mason Thames, he works really well. Same with Nico Parker and how she portrays Astrid. And before anybody starts doing that whole crap of talking to me about woke bullshit, just stop, because she's really good in the movie. And I think her and Thames, they have amazing chemistry. They work really well. And I really like Nick Frost as Gobber. I think he fits what Gobber is supposed to be from the original film, but just how a character like this would be, in that it fits what Nick Frost is used to, being kooky and crazy characters, but also being lovable at the same time. Gerard Butler, being one of the only cast members from the animated film to be returning for this, still does really well as Stoic. I still like him. I still think he really invokes what a Viking is like, and it's just nice seeing that after 15 years, he still is playing this character and is still continuing on with what everyone kind of likes about a character like this. The direction is lively. Director Dean DeBlois translates his work from the animated film, but with energy and fun, wanting to invoke the spirit of what the series is known for. When I say energy and fun, I'm more saying that when you're doing a live action remake, you could half-ass it. You can go at it in the most blatant way and just be like, all right, I'm just going to come in and just do this. Or really, the studio is the one that is overseeing this and doing everything for you, and you're just there as pretty much like, hey, my name is on here and I'm just getting paid. But I think Dean DeBlois, he actually cared about this remake. He wanted to make sure that everything that was translated well, but not to the point of being a shot for shot remake. He actually wanted it to feel like its own thing while still trying to capture what everyone loved about the series. And thankfully, he does that really well in how he goes about it. And I'm happy that Dean DeBlois, he had the love that he still had for this series, and he still continues it on even after 15 years of the original movie. It still shows in this film too. The music is excellent. Composer John Howell, who composed the trilogy, brings the adventurous and heroic nature of what the series is also known for as well. Just like the direction, the music is literally translated from the previous films and just brought to life beautifully. I think John Howell just knew how to invoke the sense of adventure and excitement, and really making everyone feel like the excitement is lively, is there, is all around in the Isle of Berk, and how these dragons come to life through the scores and how they are presented is all done seamlessly because of his composing style. The cinematography is gorgeous. Cinematographer Bill Pope showcases the rugged mountainsides and beautiful forest of Berk. Also, he does a great job on the flight sequences as well. If you're going to showcase how these dragons operate and how they move, you got to make sure that the flight sequences are done really well. And thankfully here, they're awesome. They are almost like a direct translation from the animated feature into this. It is beautiful. It looks amazing. It looks gorgeous. And like I said, how Berk looks, it looks incredible. It looks amazing, especially when you see the village. It also looks stellar as well. I'm just happy that they were able to translate this but not have it feel like a copy and paste of the original, to where it has just literal shots from it. It feels like they looked at what the original was, but they wanted to make it feel a little bit more lively in the cinematic department. The production is incredible. All the sets, costumes, and props are all well made, as well as attention to detail. Bringing it all together, seeing how the village is, and then even some of the props, they look amazing, especially the costumes too. They really do invoke what the characters are wearing those costumes. Like looking at Gerard Butler, I'm like, man, that looks just straight up like in the animated feature. It's crazy to me on how much attention to detail that they wanted to bring from that film into this. And I know I keep on comparing it to it, but I mean, when it's a movie that doesn't really do a lot of new things, and I will get to that in a little bit. I mean, if it worked the first time, you might as well not screw it up, especially when it's something that is beloved as How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, you might as well not do that. But it's just amazing on how much they drew from that film and made sure that everything was translated very well into the live action department. The action is enjoyable. Watching the arena fights and fight sequences shows the excitement of bringing it all to life, matching what has come before it. You look at that original movie and how beautifully animated, how gorgeous and vibrant it looks. Even after 15 years, it still looks amazing. Maybe some detailing doesn't look always that great, but for the most part, everything looks stellar in that film. Here, it also looks amazing in how they were able to capture the fight sequences, how Hiccup and Toothless are going through the rocky areas of Berk and then also seeing the arena fights. Those were done pretty well, really invoking how much it showcases the different dragons' power sets and also the size and feeling of the dragons, and it adds to the fun nature of it. The visuals are impressive. The detailing on the dragons are stellar in keeping the designs to a T. Though the green screen and flight shots can look a little goofy at certain points, and I get it at this point. I know that it's not always going to be perfect on those shots, but it's not enough to ruin it. And I'm okay with that. I'm legit fine if it's not always going to look amazing. But thankfully, the dragons themselves, wow, they look amazing. They look stellar, especially Toothless. Like, nothing has changed. Everything just feels like how it was, but almost feeling as if like it's new. Like, I don't want to say that because it is a live action remake, but you look at this and you're just in awe on how much they were able to put the scales on the dragons, make them have a little bit of texture to them, and it doesn't feel as if they just did it for like, hey, what do these dragons look like in real life? It's like, no, they put actual legit like detailing on them to where you're just in amazement on how much they were able to bring these beasts to life, and it's crazy. This story is endearing. Seeing Hiccup's bond with Toothless and journey to understand each other was well done. Also, the added commentary on privilege was a good addition. There's a good commentary on what it means to have the privilege, because as we all know, Hiccup is the son of Stoic, and he is the chief of the Isle of Berk, and because Hiccup is his son, he gets privileges. He gets away with a lot of things as much as people don't want him to. That's just simply because he's got privilege. And they point it out and they make a address to talk about how much people have to work much harder versus somebody like him where he doesn't have to work as hard. He can just screw up and mess up as all he wants, and as much as people can get mad at him, he'll be fine because he's got his father. And I think that was a nice touch, but the story itself, the heartbeat, the feelings that are there from the original, they're all there. Nothing has changed. Nothing has been removed or left intact, feeling soulless. It's all there. The writing is well done. Screenplay writer Dean DeBlois keeps the script on par to its animated counterpart, that it never disappoints, leaning it to feeling respectful and not just a copycat. Because they could have easily just taken the script from the first animated film and just said, all right, here you go. But they don't. They change some things, they add some things to it to where it doesn't feel as if it's noticeable. It feels like almost like they're getting away with how the script is. But really, when you look at the script itself, I know so many people may say it's not amazing, but for what this movie is, it works. It all fits seamlessly into it to where it's not a problem. It fits right with what it is. And what it is, it's a fun adventure film for the family. Everything is effective, but there is an issue that holds it back for me from being perfect. There's one issue, people. I know it may surprise you with this, but honestly, this is one that I can understand some people maybe not liking as much, but here is the only negative. The pacing and runtime is drawn out. Every scene feels too long and stretched out. With a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes, it didn't need to be elongated. I just don't think that a movie like this needed to be even close to 2 hours at all. I think they could have gone away with a much shorter film. It just felt like they drew it out because live action, and with live action, it's almost like a requirement that every movie needs to be 2 hours. Not necessarily. Some cases it can be, and it works perfectly. Other times, not so much. This movie, no. I think that they could have gotten away with something much smaller than what we got instead, because it just seems like they drew it out because it's an epic. It needs to be big, it needs to be grand, so it needs to be longer. For me, I just don't think that that was the right approach. I think they could have cut down some things to make it a little bit shorter than a live action that's worthy of its animated version. All the love and passion was put into this project, and I swear, people, hopefully this is a wake-up call to Disney and it shows them to put more work into their live action remakes, or just don't, if you ask me. Like, just don't. But you know they're gonna keep going. But if they're going to, put effort, do something. Because if this movie's making you guys look like you can't do enough, then that's a worry sign that you need to step up. You need to do better. Because if How to Train Your Dragon, a movie that came out 15 years ago, can work, I mean, it's impressive. I mean, hell, if this movie is better than the Moana live action, that's already saying much. That's already making me think, man, maybe so far How to Train Your Dragon sets a prime example on how things can be with live action remakes. So who knows? I'm gonna give How to Train Your Dragon 2025 a 9 out of 10. I had a fun time, and it was amazing to me that I got to see this with my dad, because I saw the first movie with my dad when I was 9 years old watching it, and I got to watch it with him again this time around. And they've already announced a sequel, so if they can keep this momentum going, if Dean DeBlois is still a part of it, fine. If he, at the very least, is like some way involved, good. But hopefully they can knock it out of the park next time. But as of right now, I'm just happy that I can take a live action remake that is at least very good, if not amazing. So I will be soon doing a review for 28 weeks later, and then soon 28 years later. So yes, look forward to those reviews and other reviews coming soon.